Good morning, Wellspring.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jim Moore. I'm one of the board members, and I'm part of your Sunday, February 5th, 2023 service team. Now we have a few announcements. Early Birds meets Sunday mornings at 9:30 via Zoom. The link is in the weekly email and on the website. We're doing an Eric Butterworth book right now called Practical Metaphysics, and having a lot of fun with it. So feel free to join us. Upcoming speakers today, we have our Reverend Kamatara. Dr. Edward will speak the next 2 Sundays, and Bram Watkins will be here from El Paso on February 26th. And just a reminder, Brian Lotman, our traveling monk, will be here again in March. So be on the lookout for more information about that. The Lunch Bunch is going to meet this Wednesday, February 8th at Cracker Barrel at 11:30. Any and all are welcome to join us. And Wednesday evening, we will have our monthly Board of Trustees meetings. We do these on Zoom at 6:30 p.m. All are welcome. If you want to participate, ask Edward for the link to join us. Also, this coming Sunday is our annual meeting. We'll have a short luncheon after service about 12:30, and then the meeting will start shortly thereafter. It'll include the state of the church, future plans for the church. We will elect new board members, and if you would perchance like to consider joining the board, speak with an existing board member. The names and numbers are in the handout. Our Thursday evening group is meeting again every Thursday at 7 p.m. It's not too late to join because each week it's a different speaker with a discussion afterwards. This series has been, so far we've listened to Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza, and others that we will be listening to are Lisa Rankin, Dr. Mike Dow, and Lynn McTaggart. You can come to the social hall and join us in person or join on Zoom. And again, Edward has the link for the Zoom. Upcoming on the Thursday the 22nd is the New Thought Ladies Luncheon, and it'll be at 11:30 at CSL. And I think I heard somewhere that it's no longer just women. I don't know where I read that. Maybe on Facebook. Anyway, check it out. Lastly, our prayer team remains ready to serve and support you. You may submit a request via our webpage or give it to Edward. Our prayer team meets virtually on Tuesday afternoons at 4:15 to pray with you. You may consider sitting in your quiet space during that time. We know we are one in spirit, and the energy of prayer knows no limits. Now for an invocation. As we gather this morning, we know that Spirit is in this place, that there is nowhere that Spirit is not. We only need to be open to this truth to enrich our lives hour by hour and day by day. I am so grateful to be part of this Wellspring Sunday celebration, and grateful that each of you are here as well. Some in person, some on Zoom, and some just in spirit. As we slowly breathe in and out, we realize and acknowledge our oneness, both with each other and with Spirit. I affirm that Reverend Kamatara's message will resonate with each of us, and that we will gain both wisdom and insight from her words and her presence with us here today. I also affirm that we will be greatly blessed by the music provided by Barry and our guest musician. May the love and positive lives that we receive here today flow out into our community, growing and expanding to bless our entire world. Again, I am so grateful to be a part of this beacon of light we know as Wellspring, and so it is. Now we're going to have our song of joy. Please be encouraged to stand up if you so desire.
This song is so neat too. I'm told this is a legacy song that Nancy used to sing. And so for Barry to be able to play it by ear and then write it down and then get it into the computer and then print the music, that's a huge gift. So I just want to honor Barry for doing that for us all. It's super sweet. I told you to know this song, so you guys teach me. Good job, folks.
Okay. Let us read together our vision, mission, and affirmation. Our vision: to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our mission: to support individual spiritual quests through celebration, study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. And our affirmation: this month we remind ourselves that all love begins with divine love, and there is no greater expression of love than divine love. We acknowledge this divine love continually expressing itself through us, as us, and with us. We lift all as we extend this love to those we meet, and so it is.
So it's my great honor today. Several months ago, Teresa Chuguri wrote me and said, you should try to sing with me El Paso. So I contacted her, she contacted me immediately, and finally we got her in today. I'm very happy to introduce Ana Maria Rosales. She actually is from El Paso, grew up in El Paso, went to the Loretto Academy, I just found out. And grew up with the rebellious nuns there. And eventually made her way into playing in some, actually based with some bands in El Paso, and actually started touring with them throughout Europe and Northern and Southern America. And ended up settling roots down in LA, where she recorded an album, Washed Up on Your Shore. And I will say that she told me a story, and it's she lost her sister in 2013 to breast cancer. And she said the only way she could heal was through music. So now the healing music of Anna Maria Rosales.
I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you. It's a beautiful morning. Gonna have some nice warm weather. It's a good change. This song's called Washed Up on Your Shore. Lost at sea for a long time, giving myself up for the shape that I was in. No strength to speak, I was tongue-tied. Had to share my old life skin, fed me like a baby bird, could not lift my head. Gave me your four-poster, made a pallet for your bed. Never stopped to wonder just what was your mercy for. I'm lucky that I washed up on your shore. Sailing in the wrong direction. How I got off course, I really don't recall. Stranded on a desert island. When I thought I'd lost it all, fed me like a baby bird, lifted up my head, gave me your four-poster, made a pallet for your bed. Never stopped to wonder just what was your mercy for. I'm lucky that I washed up on your shore. In your harbor I am safely tucked away. You won't find a buried treasure every day. It's a good thing that I washed up on your shore. Fed me like a baby bird, lifted up my head, gave me your four-poster, made a pallet for your bed. I don't have to wonder now what your mercy's for. Lucky that I washed up on your shore. I'm not drifting anymore. It's a good thing that I washed up on your shore.
Very good. Thank you very much. My reading today is from one of my favorite books, 365 Science of Mind. And I'm reading from May 7th. I will sing unto the Lord because he hath dealt bountifully with me. That's one of the Psalms. I am conscious that I daily enter into my divine inheritance in my thought and in the spirit. I am entering into the realm of absolute causation. I completely believe that from this secret place of the Most High, within me, there will be projected an objective manifestation of my every legitimate desire. I know that all desires are legitimate so long as they do not harm any other person. All desires are legitimate when they express life without hurt to anyone. There is good enough to go around. Therefore, I do not withhold any good from myself or from others, but constantly proclaim that good belongs alike to each and all. There is that within me that sees, knows, and understands this truth, that completely accepts it, that remembers freedom, expresses freedom, and anticipates freedom. There is that within me that is completely conscious of its unity with God, of its oneness with all the power there is, and all the presence there is, and all the life there is. Upon this power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. I am expecting more good. I am remembering only the good. I am experiencing good. In this memory of good, in this experience of good, and in the expectation of more good, daily I know that I move and have my being in an infinite sea of perfect life. And so it is. Now, time for the main event. Here comes Reverend Kamatara.
Oh, I think you took my paper there, Jen. You just cleaned everything. Thanks, sweet. All right. Whew, well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So happy to see you all, and I'm really happy to have my family here this weekend because we just had the best time ever in Las Cruces. We're just gonna have a little family getaway and stay in a cute little casita, and of course, you know, it's sunny and the warmer temperatures. I busted out my sandals. I even painted my toenails. I'm just very optimistic. I feel like the weather is changing. And I know it's only February, but still, give me that illusion that you know, we're almost out of winter. It's beautiful. We went to Caliches. Like, it's as good as it gets, sitting on a sunny bench eating your Caliches. It's just great. Or for the old timers, it's Scoopies. I get it.
Yeah.
So just thrilled to be here this weekend and be having fun. And that's what I really want to talk about today, because we're a month into the new year. And there's this really bizarre phenomenon that tends to happen towards the end of a calendar year, where typically folks get some quiet, contemplative time, and we slow down before the finish line, and we think intentionally about what are we going to do in the new year, how this is going to be different, and all the things that we always do. And then it's almost like society has the starter pistol, and then when it's January 2nd, because New Year's Day is always off, January 2nd, boom, and we're off to the races, and then I pull my head up and go, wait, a month has just gone by. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? So I'm just calling a huge, you know, flag on the play, 50-yard penalty, back it up. What are we doing here? Because that whole relentless pace, that nose to the grindstone, all the madness, and whether you're working or retired, my mom does far more now that she is retired than ever she did. You know, she's always going. So it doesn't matter if you're working or retired, just what are we doing right now? So I just want to say, for me, myself, and I quit. No mas. I am committed to having more fun this year. And it's fun no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm working or playing, it doesn't matter. Just to quote a brilliant philosopher in a great American film, Sergeant Hulka from Stripes, lighten up, Francis. Yeah, it's time to lighten up. And think about how heavy these last few years have been, right? Did you just, the whole room just went, poof. Yes, it has been. So I'm not trying to dismiss that at all. It has been very heavy, especially with COVID and current events. So yes, it has been serious and hard and long and tedious. But the only way to come out the other side of that is to decide to. So I'm deciding right now for me that it's time to come out the other side and to lighten up. And think about all the different areas where we could lighten up. We could lighten up the schedules that we're planning. We could lighten up the foods that we're eating. We could lighten up the demands that we're placing on ourselves, the demands we're placing on others. We could lighten up the pace that we're moving at. We could lighten up the amount of work we do in a day. We could lighten up how quickly we expect to get things done. We're such brats. I think that's a me. I think that's beyond just me. Yeah. And could we even lighten up how we play? Even that could just be serious as a heart attack for some people. Could we lighten up our words? Could we lighten up our thoughts? Could we lighten up what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're listening to? Could we just lighten up what we're doing and how we do it? Could we give ourselves the gift of spaciousness and the gift of play? Could we have fun regardless of what we're doing? Wouldn't that be novel? Because play, it was considered essential in our youth. When did that stop? Why did that stop? In fact, George Bernard Shaw said, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. And I think when Ken and I were visiting his mom and dad when they used to be snowbirds in Florida, and there were a bunch of retired big band players from all the big bands that you could name. Right, so we would go see music, and there would be someone who could hardly even walk, a very, amazing elder who was, trying to somehow make it up to the stage with a walker and had to be helped, and then finally ensconced in a chair, and they would hand that fellow a trombone, and suddenly he looked 20 years younger and was playing and vibrant and beautiful and amazing. Exactly, because what do you do with an instrument? You play it. You play your instrument. It's supposed to be fun. You go to see a show in the theater. It's a play. It's supposed to be fun. So why is there such stigma attached to adult play? Or why is that Puritan work ethic still even hanging out there? Oh, if you aren't tired and miserable, you're doing it wrong. And oh, you're not good enough. You got to get blood from a stone. And I think that's part of what's happening with employment right now. A lot of folks are calling it the Great Resignation, but I heard a different way of characterizing this wild time with employment. Someone called it the Great Renegotiation. And I love that because it's saying, no, I cannot function like this. This is not okay. This is not sustainable. I need to have some balance in my life. And to quote Dr. Brené Brown, she says, it takes courage to say yes to rest and play in a culture where exhaustion is seen as a status symbol and productivity as self-worth. That's what I'm quitting. And a different Dr. Brown, Dr. Stuart Brown, said play energizes us and enlivens us. It eases our burden. It renews our natural sense of optimism and opens us up to new possibilities. That sounds good to me. And did you know that Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science and prolific author, was actually called Happy? Did you know that was his nickname? They weren't, I know we sometimes joke around and say Uncle Ernie, but folks who knew him called him Happy. Yes, it's the cutest thing. And he was a baseball umpire for the neighborhood kids and a scoutmaster. And if you would love to read just the most delightful book about Ernest Holmes' life, one of the neighborhood boys who grew up and wound up spending his whole life with Dr. Ernest Holmes is Reginald Armour. And the book is called That Was Ernest, because every chapter is a goofy story and it always ends with, well, that was Ernest. It's so cute. So even though Dr. Holmes was a very serious philosopher, lecturer, writer, metaphysician, he also was incredibly playful by all accounts, and he held the world with just such delight and wonder and joy. What a model for us. Could we have that kind of balance and move beyond only the serious? Why does something have to be serious for it to be important? And why does anything have to be important to be valued? I would love for all of us to release that persona of the tortured artist, or suffering is the only thing that creates things of value, or the martyr. All of that is not what we espouse in this spiritual community. That's what we're trying to get out of. So really, if I can't have fun doing it, then I really don't want to do it. And if I still have to do it, then I'll make it fun. Let me tell you about our oldest child's hospital room. We had 6 surgeries in 3 months, and we kind of lived in children's hospital on again, off again for quite some time. And that room was fun. We had tunes playing, we were playing games, we were coloring, we were laughing. The nurses and doctors loved walking into that room in children's hospital. We had the best time in the worst of times. And so that could be the balance here that we're looking for. There's some things we could really balance out. Could we balance the gravity of something with levity? Even in music, if you learn a sonata that has multiple movements, remember when you're not supposed to clap until they're done, right? Okay, multiple movements in the song. Typically, there's a grave, like a slow piece, that's balanced with an allegro. That's like, yay, fun. Or there could be an andante, just, you know, kind of like a walking pace. And then you get a moderato, you know, like it's balanced. Or if you eat sweet foods, well, if you eat savory, you follow it with dessert. Or I know, you know, Bozo saying, oh, that snow cone in the market was so sweet. And then I want some fries to go with that. Sure. So we tend to do that without even realizing it. There's pleasure, there's balance in that. But even think about other situations. As some of you know, I'm the executive director for an anti-poverty initiative that has about 80 chapters across the United States and up into Canada. And this coming week, I'm going to be facilitating a 15-hour training online for 15 people across 8 different states, 4 time zones. And we are going to be looking at this anti-poverty initiative that they can implement in their community. It is very serious. And yet, if I spent 15 hours of this training just being, boom, serious, we'd be dropping like flies. There's no way we'd make it. So even though we do things like a poverty simulation, the way that we do it is I mail them a care package and they open it up and they're like, wow, there's a game card and there's Skittles and what is this thing? And it's really profound. Like we have fun and it's really profound. Or on one of the days, we're always renaming ourselves, you know, like here's your name and here's the city where you are, here's your name and what's your favorite animal? So then I always wear this fabulous sweater, which is kind of funny when I'm on Zoom because I don't know if you can tell what's on my fabulous sweater because people don't notice it at first. And then after a while, you kind of get the double take like, wait, are you wearing a cat sweater? Like, yes, it's part of the crazy cat lady professional line. So, you know, we can have fun even though we're doing something serious. And actually, the having fun is what helps us to be able to do the serious things, that there is some balance to it, that it's replenishing our souls, that we could just balance it out. To give a less serious example, when I go to the gym, which isn't, you know, my favorite thing to do, but I know I need to. So I go to the gym and I read my book when I'm on the elliptical because I love reading my book. And James Clear in Atomic Habits, he calls that habit pairing. And then when I'm done on the elliptical and I've done my workout and all the things, they have a little massage chair. I go sit in that massage chair every time, like, you just worked out, good girl. It's better than saying you just worked out, have some chocolate, right? Don't want to go there. Probably wouldn't be the best reward, but it makes it fun. So I want to go do this serious thing. So can we balance the gravity of our lives with levity? And can we balance the task with portion? Just doing more of something doesn't make it better or make it more profound or more important or more anything. It just makes it more. So recently I've reconnected with music on multiple levels, piano, voice, you know, violin, and I'm working on getting my classical chops together. It's been a while since I've played some heavy hitting music. And so I have a choice. I could maybe schedule like a 3-hour practice session where I'm just going to practice everything that I'm working on, but how productive would that be? And then that would be grueling, and would I even be learning anything at a certain point? I think that my brain would just malfunction, I wouldn't get anywhere. Or could I say, you know, I'm just going to play like 2 songs a day. That's it. Like 10 minutes. But if I do that 7 days a week, that's 14 songs, that's 140 minutes. I mean, and then each day, oh, delightful, I get to play my piano. It's so much more fun that way and productive. So maybe consider in your own lives, are you balancing the task with portion? We don't need to do these marathon sessions that society just seems to love. We could be gentle, we could be fun. Also, could you balance the work with play? Like when we moved to New Mexico almost 20 years ago, we fell in love when we visited on a vacation. And we thought, wow, we just want a vacation here all the time. And then we talked about, 20 years ago, well, maybe we should move there when we retire. And I was like, are you kidding? Let's just move there now. And we'll live like we're retired, except we happen to have jobs, which has been great. And sometimes we forget, sometimes we're like, oh, nose to the grindstone. And then after a while, one of us will say, wait, stop doing that. Let's go to the festival in Albuquerque and let's, go walk around Old Town and let's go to the art museum and then we get back into, oh yeah, it's fun. Which some of you know, if you're friends on Facebook, we love going out and having fun. And of course, I'm not going to post the other stuff because that's not appropriate for Facebook, but just know, it's all balanced. It's all balanced, having fun. And so when we come to Las Cruces, we have a great time. What are some of your favorite things to do in Las Cruces or Mesilla? Just shout it out. What do you love?
On the way.
Oh, there's some good restaurants. There's some good food. Do you have other places you like to go, things you love? Rosales for the win. We love walking around Mesilla and, Coas and the farmers market and the museums. And there's all sorts of shows going on, live shows and concerts coming up. I mean, there's so much to do. Oh, sorry, Clean Chase gets an honorable mention. Okay, so is it possible to balance, work with play? Another balance question is, can you balance how you're spending yourself versus how you're replenishing yourself? It's the in and out flow that we talk about here. So what is it that connects you to your joie de vivre? What is it that just makes you so excited? I am kind of shocked to say I'm going to be in an opera in March. And granted, I'll be like the 5th alto to the left. That's about my speed. But still, when I was telling my mom, she was like, honey, I haven't heard you this excited about something since, maybe high school or college. So it's really wonderful to hear that tone in your voice. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, there it is. So it's like, is there something from your childhood that used to make you really excited that you don't do anymore? Would it be fun to reconnect that? Just follow that little clue And that other little clue, and you don't have to be great at it. Be brave enough to suck at something. Is it fun? Yes, it's fun. I don't have to be the lead in the show. I'm going to be the fifth alto to the left. I'm going to have a great time, and it's going to be so much fun. That will replenish my soul. So what is it for you? Is it music? Is it art? Is it working with horses? Is it singing at hospice care? Like, what is it that gets that back for you? Definitely could use more of that. Because whatever is playful and restorative for you is a spiritual practice. Fun and play is a spiritual practice that's just as important and valuable as study, meditation, shadow work, struggle. We do the same thing in our Utah communities where we elevate things that are dark and difficult. And that's important. I'm not trying to say that doesn't matter, because it does. That does too. But why is that the only thing that has spiritual teeth or spiritual merit? I love how far I can go after I've had fun because it is buoyant for me. It lifts me up. So I'd really love for you to lock in on the concept that playing is a powerful form of prayer. That playing is praying. So just think right now in your own life, is there anything that feels like serious work or drudgery or a real chore? Could it be turned into play? Can it somehow become a spiritual playground in which to practice wonder and delight? In fact, we're going to play a little game right now. Let's play make-believe in your mind. And just imagine what your upcoming week would look like. So imagine your calendar, okay? Got it going in your head. What would this upcoming week look like if everything that was scheduled could be approached with a playful mindset? Did it look a little different than maybe what it would have otherwise? Because if there's a little difference there, it might be an interesting experiment to run. We are religious scientists after all, and we can say, what's the experiment we would like to run this week? Well, what would it look like if I stitched a little fun and a playful mindset into everything that I'm doing? Because play is a mindset, it can be a spiritual practice, it is a way to engage with the world and also to tap into the creative self. So could you do more than just pause for play? Don't just make it, oh, well, I time out, then I play. They're not separate, they're not mutually exclusive, but rather could you weave play into all different aspects of your life? Just reframe it. Reframe life as the balance between gravity and levity, task and portion, work and play, spending yourself and replenishing your soul. And you can't convince me that God doesn't have a sense of humor. Look at this crazy life. Look at these crazy bodies. Wow. Spirit loves to play. So like they say, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I say play at something you love. Just have fun with it. And the results will be astonishing for you and for those around you because it's seriously time to lighten up. All right, let's go to prayer. In this beautiful moment of levity and delight and wonder and joy and laughter, I recognize the presence of the one living source of spirit, the one heart, one love, one mind that is expressing as each person here present in all aspects of our life. In the sunshine and in the clouds, in the calm, beautiful sunny days, but also in the blustery, cold, rainy, gray days, all of that is the divine expressing. And so knowing that each person here is aligned with the divine, that is the presence and power within, I speak my word and know that it comes forth manifested for each person in the week yet to come, that we each get to experience more joy, delight, wonder, and awe in our lives. That no matter the situation we're in, even if it's a serious situation or there's heavy lifting to be done, that we can surrender that to the divine and see the sparkle and the glitter and the sunshine that is possible in that moment also. That there is a light that goes with the darkness. There is a lightness that goes with the heaviness. That there's balance in our lives. And that spirit is playful in us, through us, as us. And with this playful, open mind, we can see a new perspective, a new way of being, a healthy way of interacting that is sustainable and joyful. So connecting to the playful qualities of the divine and the fun that we get to have in this lifetime, I give thanks, because life truly is stacked in our favor. The universe is always conspiring for our best and highest good. And this week, that is in having fun and lightening up. So I lay it down and I give thanks for the ability to surrender and to choose differently, to choose joy. And so knowing that all is well and unfolding in divine right order in joyful, playful, fun ways, I let it go and let it be. And so it is.
Yes. Thank you for that reminder. We all need to take that in the heart. Get out of your own way. Don't be so afraid. Take a chance on a moment, slipping away. Don't you know it's beautiful? Open your eyes and you'll find I'd trade the rain for sunshine. Walk along with me under the sun and through the breeze. It's easy if you want it to be. Like the mountains to the sea, let our love flow down the stream. It's easy if you want it to be. There's no hope inside the place you hide, so talk to me. It might take some time to change your mind, build you a dream. Turn it up, turn around, come with me and you'll see. Everything is everything. You can walk along with me under the sun and through the breeze. It's easy if you want it to be. Like the mountains to the sea, let our love flow down the street. It's easy if you want it to be. It's easy if you want it to be. Sun is burning bright. Take it as a sign. Let it shine over you. Don't say a word or make a sound. Let my love surround you. It's high time you see. It's easy if you want it to be. It's easy if you want it to be. Walk along with me under the sun and through the breeze. Easy if you want it to be. Like mountains to the sea, let our love flow down the street. Easy if you want it to be. Easy if you want it to be. Easy if you want it to be. Easy if you want it to be.
Thank you, thank you. As we acknowledge and receive our virtual and in-person gifts, we give great thanks for the offerings already given and those we will be receiving, because we know that giving and receiving are both part of the one flow. We affirm that we are also part of that flow. We bless these gifts and know they are multiplied throughout our community. There are a number of folks who have contributed to the production of this service, and we are grateful for their service. We thank you for joining us today, Zoom land, and here in the sanctuary. And lastly, stay around in the Zoom meeting after service to visit or join us in the social hall for goodies and conversation. Please stand as you're able and read with me the benediction, followed by our congregational song. Spirit in the midst of us is mighty. Joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature, and flow through us into the world, and so it is.
And this is our moment now, right now.